Welcome to the knowledge series. Here I am going to discuss on DHCP. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Before we proceed, let's understand the DHCP address allocation methods. As you see, the DHCP address allocation method is basically to provide IP configurations. And for this, the DHCP use three mechanisms. These are static allocations methods, dynamic allocation, and automatic allocation. In this configuration, the administrator does the configurations of a allocation tables. That means the administrator configures under the case of static allocations, provides the allocations tables to DHCP server. Here the allocation table is given by the administrator under the case of a static conditions to the DHCP server. And in this table, that administrator that passes towards the DHCP server, the table consists of a MAC address of all the clients to which the IP address need to configure. So that, and thereby the IP configuration is being performed. So the DHCP server use this allocation tables which is being provided by the administrators, and thereby it provides the IP configurations to the respective clients. When we go towards the dynamic allocations methods, in this particular method, administrators does in a different way. Administrator configures the range of IP address on the DHCP server. So when the range is given, so automatically the DHCP server assigns the IP configurations based on the range that which the administrator has provided to the each client, and thereby the IP configuration is being assigned. Under the case of a automatic allocation, it performed in the similar way like a dynamic allocations methods, where the administrators configures the range of IP address on the DHCP server, and based on that the DHCP server assigns the IP configurations to each of the clients based on the request. So these are the three methods which we see, where the static is manually carried out by the administrators on the DHCP server, whereas in the case of a dynamic and the automatic conditions, the range is being assigned on the DHCP server, based on which the DHCP server provides the IP configurations to the client based on the request. So based on these allocations methods, the DHCP works. So here the DHCP which we are going to discuss on the dynamic host configuration protocol, that comes under the sections of a automatic configurations. So let's see the DHCP configuration protocol. Basically the DHCP protocol is a client server protocols, and in these protocols the automatic assign of the unique IP address to each device over the network is being carried out. And as you can see, it defines the RFC 2131 and RFC 2939 under these particular protocols. Basically DHCP conditions, there is no need to manually assign any IP address, because this comes under the class of automatic configurations or automatic allocations. So therefore no users configuration is necessary to go in the form of a manual. And you will find that in the case of a DHCP, the default protocols is being provided to most of the network devices like routers and the network equipments. So as you see here, the DHCP server maintains a pool of available IP address and assign one of them to the host. So that is how the DHCP server used to carry out, because in the case of an automatic condition, the range is being provided. So it is a part of the client server protocols. Now here the server which you notice, the server offers and delivers the IP configurations, and the client part is that client request and acquire the IP configuration. So when the request is there, based on that the IP address is being delivered from the server sides, and all this activity being held in the background. So that's why DHCP works in the background when you connect to a network. So that is how this particular DHCP performs. Now when you see across the DHCP mode of operand, so here the DHCP server performs certain parameters, like you can see that based on the figure, a computer is connected to the server. So this server is not that one which is just next to the computer. It may be in the remote locations, or it may be in the other buildings. So when we see this network, it's a collections of several routers, switches, and several devices. So that's why the DHCP server provides the certain parameters like subnet mask, default gateway, domain name, DNS server. All these things comes under this particular DHCP servers. So here as you can see, the DHCP client goes through the 4 steps when connected with the server. What are those 4 handshakings? One is discover, another is offer, next is request, and final is acknowledgement. So this is the handshaking that is being held between the client and the server. Now when we talk about the step 1, the DHCP client sends the broadcast packet, that is the DHCP discover, to the DHCP server over the wired network or a wireless network, whatever it may be. Then the DHCP server, after receiving this DHCP discover packet from the client, then it is going to respond, which is based on the DHCP offer packets. So that you can see the arrow from the server to the client. So it's the offer packet which is being sent from the server to the client, that is sending a IP addressing informations. Once the client receives the DHCP offer, the first DHCP offer packet is being accepted. That means we are not talking about a peer-to-peer condition. There may be a multiple server will be the DHCP server will be there. From the multiple server, this particular DHCP offer packet may be reaching towards the client. So which the client will look for the first DHCP offer packets. So from which DHCP server it has received. Based on that, it is going to accept, and then it is going to send the request, that is the DHCP request packet to over the network to the server from where it has received the first offer. Finally, the DHCP server approves the lease of that particular DHCP acknowledgement. So that is the final acknowledgement packet is being sent from the that particular server, which was the first server over which the offer was received, back to the client. So the packet frame that receives the offer, based on that the request and the acknowledgement that we try to see it consists of the durations as well as the configurations informations. So that is how the DHCP client and the server is being carried out. The first is that client request based on the DHCP discover packet, and thereby the offer of a IP addressing information is being sent from the DHCP server, and then the client is going to send the DHCP respond to that particular server. Based on that, DHCP server approves and leaves the DHCP acknowledge packets that consist of the duration and configuration information. So this is how the DHCP works. So here when we talk about the time it takes for these connectivities, it depends upon the size of the network, and it depends upon the type of the routers that is exist in the networks. Normally it takes 3 to 10 seconds to do these configurations. So that's why the DHCP work in a dynamic or we can say that in a automatic allocations mode for providing IP configurations to the client. Now let's see the outcomes of the DHCP in terms of advantage and disadvantage. The very first advantage is that easy to implement. That means it is easy to implement and automatically assign an IP address correctly using this DHCP. The next is save time and overload. That means the manual configurations using static methods of an IP address is not needed here. Hence it saves time, and the workload of the network administrator is reduced. No IP address conflict. That means there is no IP address conflict due to the duplications or invalid IP assignments of the manual mode. Next is a valid configurations for mobile applications. That means it is useful for the mobile users because of the change in the various locations. Thereby a valid configurations are automatically obtained from due to the network change from the DHCP. Next we see the disadvantage part. No security mechanisms. That means DHCP server what you are seeing seen in the current and the previous slide is this one, is that there is no secure mechanism here for the authentications of the client, because most of the clients joins to the network. So there is a security risk of a IP address due to the we can say that depletions of the unauthorized client may happens, or maybe manipulations will be taking place for the client to access the IP configurations. Finally, it is a single point failure of one server. That means if the DHCP server is connected to the network is a single, then if that DHCP server fails, then the network fails. So this covers the entire discussions of the DHCP server, and that gives an idea about how the DHCP server, which is a protocol that automatically assigns the IP address for the each devices and that connects to the network. With this, let me conclude. Thank you.